La 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 la. Yeah. Woo! Hey there, family, comrades, and neighbors. It is Jason Wyman here with another art update. Yeah! Oh my gosh, it's happening! They just keep happening. So, before I dive right in today, I want to let you know where you can find me. You can find me on all social media at Queerly Complex. That's YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Yes, I am back on all social media, and you can find me at Queerly Complex. You can also find my websites at www.queerlycomplex.com and www.jasonwymanisqueerlycomplex.com. The Queerly Complex website is my shop, and Jason Wyman is Queerly Complex is my blog. So go check out both of those things. Now to the juicy bits. Today, I want to share with you a little bit about how it is that I engage critically with esoteric texts. That's what I'm going to be doing today. I am doing 110 days of ritual in my Instagram profile, in my Instagram stories, actually. It is something to just help keep me grounded between now and the end of the year so that I can start 2022 feeling a little bit more like I know what the fuck it is that I'm actually doing. Because guess what? I don't really know. So, how is it that I engage with esoteric texts through a lens of ritual in order to help chart a course of where it is that I might be going? Well, one, I think it's really important to understand that esoteric texts, at least for me, are all about how it is that a worldview or a cosmology gets constructed. That is a huge lesson for me and a huge understanding of why it is that I personally would engage with esoteric works like magic, or the I Ching, or runes, or the tarot, or a number of other tools of magic and spellcasting. Or ritual, another way of putting all of this. So I'm going to bring this down to a very narrow view because I think it's easier to understand in the narrow. And that is through the lens of a single text. Today, I'm going to walk through a little bit, not fully, knowledge of higher worlds. These are the blackboard drawings of Rudolf Steiner, and it was edited by Lawrence Rinder. So, when you open this book, you find out that it was published by University of California, Berkeley Art Museum, and Pacific Film Archive. You find out that it is called Knowledge of Higher Worlds and that they are Rudolf Steiner's blackboard drawings, all the things that are on the cover of the book. But when you open it up, it is a white page, which to me invites markup. Yes, sacrilegiously, I mark up all of my books, especially books that I find that I want to better understand and make meaning of. I know that doesn't work for everyone because some people feel really awkward writing in a book. I never have, especially if it's a book that I own. I mean, I want to keep a record of my thought process so that I can also see how my thoughts and beliefs and values actually evolve over time. So, what did I write in the first page of this particular book? Wah, 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 wah. Here we are. Yes, I am writing all over it. So, let me unpack this just a little bit. So, up here we have question higher worlds. Question which higher worlds. That's right. In this book, it says knowledge of higher worlds. And I think it's really important for me to question which higher worlds. This is Rudolf Steiner, after all. Rudolf Steiner was the founder of the Waldorf schools. He was a radical education thinker, philosopher. He founded anthroposophy. I always mispronounce that. It came after Theosophy, and Theosophy really is the forebear to a lot of New Age and modern witchery, in all honesty. So that is a little bit about Theosophy. Central to both Steiner's philosophy and in Theosophy is a racial hierarchical categorization. Now, I know that that racial categorization has, let me put it this way, is racist. Yes, I'm just going to say it. That racial categorization system is racist, even if they came out later and actually said that they did not believe that the racial hierarchical categorization that they were using under their version of magic and philosophy was not meant to be applied politically. It still was applied politically post their death. So, while that may be true during their lifetime that they said these things and tried in their own ways to work against some of the ways that their philosophical underpinnings under racial hierarchies and saying that they shouldn't be applied to nation states, the reality was they were applied to nation states, like Germany. Yes, that happened. Anyway, I don't want to get lost in all of that and critiquing all of the pieces around that. Rather, what I'd like to do is acknowledge that that is a reality of the text it is that I am about to read. Just because that is a reality, it shouldn't necessarily stop me from engaging with the text, especially if it is a text that I want to think about critically. The question becomes for me, how? How is it that I can engage with the text through a critical lens that is still moving me towards an ultimate future and an ultimate dream that is more anti-racist, that is more anti-capitalist, and that is working for the liberation of queer and trans people all across the globe? How is it? So, I need to start naming things within that, like questioning which higher worlds. Steiner and the editors at University of California can say all of the things they want about higher worlds, but it's their higher worlds. And I am not sure that their higher worlds are higher worlds that I necessarily want to be looking at. So I need to start by questioning them. The second thing that I noted is that it was made right here in the Bay Area. Specifically, it really was made at the University of California, Berkeley Art Museum and Pacific Film Archive. See, right there. So, considering that it is made in my backyard, yes, it's made right here in the Bay Area, and I am San Francisco, I also need to acknowledge that this is unceded Chochenyo Ohlone land. Specifically, across the bay is unceded Chochenyo Ohlone land. If this were published here in San Francisco, it would be Ramaytush Ohlone land as well. So just wanted to name that. The book itself as well has a foreword. Now, again, this came out of the University of California, and so it's with a grain of salt that I actually want to be engaging with some of this stuff. The reason I want to take it with a grain of salt is actually because the academy, like University of California, has a way of trying to legitimate certain things and delegitimate other things. Let me say that again. The academy loves to legitimate certain things and then simultaneously delegitimate other things. That's a nature of the academy. And so the fact that the academy is the one that is publishing this particular book that is actually the workings and philosophical musings of Rudolf Steiner, which again is musings of Rudolf Steiner, polished through the academy, I want to remind myself that this book is a work of fiction. Now, that doesn't mean that there might not be truths within this, and that doesn't mean that there aren't necessarily going to be facts that come as a result of me reading this or discovering different kinds of facts. But this is a work of speculation. This is a work of thought, all right? And while we can be rigorous, I think we also might want to question the rigor of the academy as applied to musings about philosophy. I don't know why. Maybe because the academy is also built on a system of white supremacy and capitalism. I don't know. That might be a reason. Additionally, because it came out of the academy, it seems really important to me to name a couple of things. Specifically, one, this book is not possible without colonization, white supremacy and patriarchy, and the United States being a violent nation. Again, that is at the core and at the foundation of this text. Now, this may feel like doing too much, especially for people that don't obsessively think about colonization, white supremacy, patriarchy, and undoing and abolishing the whole fucking thing. Well, I think about this stuff a lot. And let me tell you, so much of my own unconscious, subconscious thought is completely biased because it is built on that foundation. It is built on a foundation of Catholicism. It is built on a foundation of my dad. When I was born, my father was in the Army Reserves and had to quickly travel back to my mom to meet her at the hospital in order to welcome me into the world. I was born as literally a part of US propaganda. I was educated in Catholic school and in public school here in the United States with certain myths and stories that are seeped into the entirety of my being. They're everywhere. I mean, occupying all of the spaces in this particular body. Now, do I need to obsess about all of that? No, I do not need to obsess about it. But I do need to be aware of it. And I need to be aware of the ways in which those thoughts thoughts, values, beliefs, suddenly and subtly creep into my own psyche and creep into my own critique as I'm engaging with texts, again, that are about the construction of a cosmology or a worldview. Again, that is the crucial piece here, is that this book is not just a book. This book is about trying to tell you Rudolf Steiner's worldview. And it is being told to us by a very specific institution that has a very specific vested interest in keeping a certain specific kind of academy and critique and culture alive. So it is incumbent on me, the reader, to be able to understand and articulate some of the lenses through which it is that I am about to critique and engage the text with. So that is a lot. There was a lot packed into this 14-minute video already, so I'm not gonna bore you too much longer with this, but I will show you what it has resulted in. And let me tell you, some of the revelations for myself are radical. And I will make another video at another time about this because really, truly, I had some real insights into the political nature of this particular moment and how it directly connects back to concepts that were practiced in the Crusades and the Catholic Church, and how they are present still in my body this many God, hundreds, 1,000 or more years later, they're still present in me right here and right now. And I think it is really important to be aware of those things. So I promise I will share a little bit more about that in a future video. But here, I just started writing the fuck over it. May well-being be a guide. There's a reason I specifically use the word well-being. And then you can see I just started writing and writing. And writing some more. And there's lots and lots of pages of notes. This took me about a total of 3 hours to go through approximately maybe 15 pages, because I really thought, I was really thinking hard about it. And as you can see, there's actually not a lot of text on the page itself. So this process can be long, it can be slow, it can be cumbersome at times, but I walk away having really critically engaged with something, and that to me feels absolutely fucking liberatory. I'm not just consuming something. I'm not just swallowing it and taking in empty calories. No. I'm actually looking at it. It's nourishing me, it's feeding me, and it's making me think differently about the world. Ciao for now. Hey there, family, comrades, and neighbors. It's Jason Wyman here, urging you on the other side of this screen to like and to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And if you are so moved, please share this content, or any content really, with your comrades, family, and neighbors. I really want to grow this community of weird queerdos. Can you help me do that? It's how we cultivate camaraderie, solidarity, artistry, and love. Thanks so much for tuning in and for sharing. Ciao. La, 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 la. Yeah.